So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Can everyone still hear me? Okay. So tonight I'm going to be talking about the method to business tracking madness. And I call it business tracking madness because I feel like it's really chaotic, but it works for me. And seeing those names and seeing those check marks and seeing what I actually mark and track in pen and paper every single day is what has helped my business move forward. So let's jump right in. So first of all, ask yourself a few questions. Why should I track my business? I know a lot of people get really hesitant about, why do I need to do this? Well, one, small activities that are tracked are going to give you proven success. But here's a few statistics for you. So the odds of achieving your goal are 64% higher if you track your goals and write your goals down. That's pretty significant. Also, I learned on an elite leadership call that people who hit SC10, so Success Club 10, if you're an all-star and earn Success Club 10, you're 60 times more likely than Success Club 5 all-stars, people who track their business and do successful. Success Club 5 all-stars earn 10 times more than coaches who don't hit Success Club consistently. So why I'm telling you this is because tracking my business has helped me become successful and hitting Success Club each month. And then also something to know, folks who hit Success Club rank advanced 35% more often than coaches who are not consistent. So consistency is key. It's the one key component that is going to move your business forward. And I highly recommend, if you have not read it yet, to read The Compound Effect. I actually just finished it, and I know a lot of coaches read it when they first sign up, but what it really emphasizes is that small, smart choices plus consistency plus time equal the compound effect. And what the compound effect is, watching your business grow. You don't see it happen overnight. You don't see it happen in month 1, month 2, month 6. But by the time you start to hit 1 year, 18 months, 24 months, 3 years, every consistent activity that you're doing is going to perpetuate you into the compound effect and watching your business grow. So just a few reasons why you should track your business. So here's an example. Here's the compound effect in action. You have a client, say they cut 100 calories a day. In 1 year, that client's going to cut 36,000 calories, right? So if you divide that by 3,500, 1 pound of fat, they're going to lose 10 pounds. So in 1 year, 10 pounds may not be that significant, right? Depending on how much they need to lose. But in 2 years, your client's cutting 73,000 calories, which is about 21 pounds. And in 3 years, they're cutting 109,000 calories, which is about 31.2 pounds. And no matter how much weight you have to lose, 31.29 pounds is pretty significant. So you can see how those small activities that you do daily will impact the long-term effect. So as I said before, although your changes may be minimal in year 1, by years 2 and 3, they're measurable and visible differences. So this can pertain to any area of your life, whether it is weight loss, whether it is your business, just doing those consistent behaviors every single day are going to give you those measurable and visible differences. So how do I track? What do I do? Well, first thing I'm going to do every single month is look at the actual month itself. So here's a picture of my calendar. So this is March. And what I'm going to do is, first of all, plan my challenge groups. Typically, we run them every week 1 and every week 3, starting on a Monday. So I know I have those coming up. So I need to start thinking about, what season is it? Are there any holidays coming up? How can I plan a successful challenge group? What things can I add to it that are different, that add value? Typically, my team we usually run a free group in week 2. So that everyone that we're inviting throughout the month, we can plug right into that free group each and every month. And then I always run my coaching open house on week 4. And what I do is a 1-hour live event on Facebook. And it's always the first or the 4th Monday of every month. And that's just what works. So as far as planning my month, I'm planning every single week. I have a new activity starting that I'm constantly recruiting for, whether it is a challenge group, a free group, coaching open house, and then I also do new coach training usually that first week as well. Something else I'm going to track at a monthly glance are team goals and any follow-ups. You know, a lot of times you speak to people who are like, oh, now is just not the right time. Check back with me in a month or whatever. So if someone has told me that, I'm going to mark it in March. So right now people are telling me, it's not right time. So I'm going to go ahead and move to May and plug their name in somewhere in a list on my monthly calendar. And then as far as team goals, what are your team goals? Where do you see yourself progressing in that month? Do you want to be an emerald coach? Do you want to be a diamond coach? What are your income goals? So I know you can't really see it very well, but over here on this far right-hand column, I'm putting down all of my goals. I'm putting down all of my coaches, if they're planning to rake advance, if they're planning to hit Success Club, kind of looking at it as a big picture of what we're going to do in the month. Then, if you break it down at the weekly level, some things that I track, this may look like chaos to you, and I apologize, but I'm going to explain what everything is. First of all, I'm going to track my workouts. So over here in this far right column, on the left page, I'm going to track my workout and my shake. I'm checking them off every single day. Then, if you look at the page, you will see where it says new, and then there's listed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 underneath. And those are all names. So those are all new people that I'm adding every single day, and I'm actually writing their names down, okay? And then I can go back to the previous week and see, did they accept my friend request? Also, you can see these columns here. It says IG. I make sure that I post on Instagram once a day, and I just check that off. I have posts, so I'm tick marking how many posts I've made per day. And for me, this is just on my personal page because I do run a like page as well, but all of those posts are scheduled. I schedule 3 posts a day on my like page, and I typically do that all on Saturday. I set it up for the whole week. So I'm constantly taking pictures all week long, and then on Saturday I sit down, I strategize. I have a whole other tracking system that I use for that. And then I also track how many private messages I'm sending a day. I always send at least 5 private messages a day. I go back and forth between the coaching opportunity and the challenge group opportunity. It just depends on what I have coming up, but no less than 5 private messages per day. You can see I have my new, which means those are the new people I've friend requested. So I'm aiming for 5 a day. And I would say I do this at least 5 to 6 days per week. And then lastly, E stands for engagement. And those are just people I'm engaging with on their Facebook. I'm liking, I'm commenting. I'm not actually writing their names down, but I'm making sure that I'm engaging with at least 3 to 5 people every day so that I'm creating affinity with those people as well. Something that I've just started doing, it may sound cheesy, but you know how you can see whose birthday it is. Well, I've been leaving happy birthday messages, but very specific birthday messages, not just that happy birthday, either incorporating their name or something special about them. And it's funny because they'll comment on it. And you know, on your birthday, you're just like, like, because 1,000 people leave you a message. But if you get very specific and leave a really detailed message, just watch, they'll comment on it. So that's something new I've been doing.
Lisa, may I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Go back and tell me again what the new tallies were for.
So the tick marks are just how many new people I have friend requested during that day. So on Monday at the top, you see there are 5 tick marks because I have 5 names listed there.
Okay, so you have tick marks and name.
Yeah, because the tick marks just kind of hold me accountable for making sure that I'm requesting 5 new people every day. And most of the people that I am requesting are either friends of friends, people that I have mutual friends with, or people that get drawn to my like page from a boosted ad. So those are typically the three ways that I find people, friends of friends, if we have 10 or 20 mutual friends, and then from my like page as well. Because I typically boost about one ad per week. So, and it's typically my Sunday night prime time post that I'm going to boost, that I will get the most engagement on. So this is kind of my week at a glance. And then if you look all the way over, you see a name, Wendy Conyers, and she's highlighted. So that was a challenge pack purchase on Monday. So I highlight my challenge pack purchases so that I know when to go back and send them a follow-up message. You know, if they're getting close to their 30 days and if they need to cancel their club membership, I can always go back and look who ordered on which day. And that kind of works for me as far as tracking them so they don't get that surprise. Here comes your full price Shakeology and club dues. So, so I track challenge pack purchases. I track my daily private messages, posts, new friends, engagements, and making sure that I post on Instagram once a day. And then, you know, I mean, I know we all do our workout and drink our shake, but I just like to check it off. So I put it on there too. Also, if you look over on the far right-hand side where it says notes, those are all of the people that I currently have open conversations with. So there's a list of like, I don't know, 10, 12 people there. So those are all of the open conversations I have going that week that I'm trying to close. Below it, I have typically my coaching conversations that I'm trying to close. So I kind of break mine up because I always want to know who are my challenger prospects versus who are my coaching prospects. So you can see how I have those broken up there. And then, for example, the folks that I have highlighted are the ones that I just plugged into my free coaching live event last week. And then I also just track my own workouts so you can see some of the hammer and chisel workouts. I made sure that I wrote all those out and circled them, checked them off, whatever I needed to. And then something else that I track that you probably can't see is making sure I know all of the groups that I need to post in for the week, because I know sometimes that gets to be really overwhelming for all of us as well. So, week at a glance, what workouts am I doing? What groups am I posting in? Who am I following up with? Is it a challenger? Is it a coach prospect? And then all of my daily activities. And if you look at those daily activities, my goal is to try to get 5 tick marks on each of those each day, except for Instagram. I usually only post once a day on there. Okay? So if we look at that daily, we already kind of talked about this, my workout, my shake, my PD, making sure I'm reading my PD, my Instagram post, 5 private messages per day, 3 to 5 quality posts per day. New people, I'm adding 5 a day, and engaging with 5 other people a day. And I will say that sometimes I share things from my like page, but I try not to do that more than once a day. So if I'm posting on my personal page, I try to do lifestyle, I try to do motivation, and I might share a recipe from my like page or something like that. But most of the time I try to keep it separate and not just share everything. But if I am sharing, it's no more than once a day for those of you who run a like page. So yeah, tick marks work for me. So what else do I track, or what else should you track? I always track my income goals. So when we're talking about that month at a glance, what's your monthly income goal? And then you can break it down by week. So for example, my monthly income goal is $2,400. You know, I also, for rank goals, want to be at that 2-star qualifying. So that's my goal for the month of April. I want to make sure I'm setting a goal of how many books I want to read per month. And for me, that's 2. So I've already picked the books that I'm going to read, and I have them written down on my month. And then I also want to track how many coaches I'm going to have in Success Club. I actually run 3 accounts. So I run my own, I run my husband's, and I run my mom's. So my husband is a diamond, and I'm currently trying to push my mom maybe to a diamond. but it gets to be overwhelming. So I have to track how many Success Club points I have coming in for all 3 accounts. So, and then I'm always working to add at least 5 new coaches a month as well. And hopefully 2 or 3 of them are working coaches and 2 or 3 will be discount coaches, just to kind of help build that team on either myself, my mom, or my husband's account. And then I set a goal for each month and look to increase month over month. So if this month I want to make $2,400, next month it better be $2,500 or more. If I have six coaches that are in Success Club, next month I want to have 7 coaches in Success Club. And it doesn't always work out, but for me, it's something that keeps me moving forward. And then I have to reassess my goal. Why didn't I hit my income goal? Well, because I didn't sell as many challenge packs as I thought I would. So I just try to break everything down. I look at the big picture of the month, and then I break it down week by week. What activities do I need to do, and how am I going to achieve these goals? So, what do you do with all of this tracking and all this nonsense in your book, right? Well, the biggest thing you can do is follow up. So this type of pen and paper tracking, listing out the names of the people you're adding, is huge for following up. So here's what I do. All of those new people I've added in March, I added 120 new people, okay? So I'm going to invite all of those people to a free group. I don't just immediately go to them and say, hey, I'm a Beachbody coach, want to join my challenge group? No. I take those new people, I start to engage with them a little bit, start liking, start commenting on their posts, and then I'm going to first approach them about a free group, because my personality is I don't want to come across salesy. So if I'm adding 100 new people a month, that's 100 new people you can add to your free groups every single month, right? So get them engaged, get them excited. Oh, wow, this is fun. I like these recipes. And then you have an opportunity from there to convert them to either challengers or coaches based on, do you like the accountability? Did you like the recipes? Could you benefit from clean eating, or whatever your free group theme is for that month? And we try to switch it up, and I know Zoe does too. So just kind of go with whatever your theme is. But I always make notes of when to follow up. Like I said before, if I have people who are telling me, not this month, or hey, I've got a vacation plan, I can't even think about this until September, then I'm going to jump ahead to September and write their name down. And you better bet that on September 3rd, probably, I'm going to send them a message and follow up. And my own personal goal here too is, I'm constantly thinking that I need to add at least 3 people to each challenge group, because if you run 2 a month and you're adding at least 3 people to each challenge group, you're going to hit Success Club 10 no matter what. So just think about that, and you're helping 3 people each time you're running a challenge group, and that's not overwhelming. You can manage 3 people at a time in a challenge group, new people. And then you have an opportunity to convert your challengers to coaches and to plug them into your open house or your new coach training as well. So, you've all heard it before that your challengers make the best coaches. And I'm sure some of us were challengers before we became coaches as well. So for me, I find that adding 100 new people a month by adding 5 a day leads to adding these people into free groups and giving them some value. What do I do? How can I show you what I do and share? And then you get an opportunity to present either a challenge group or the coaching opportunity. So it's not just like, bam, I'm a Beachbody coach, buy something from me, right? Because nobody wants that. I don't want that. I'm tired of all the rap stuff coming at me already, right? So this is what you can do with all of your tracking. And then on top of daily, weekly, and monthly goals, I also track quarterly and annual goals. So again, looking at that big picture. So what are your quarterly and annual goals? Mine personally, I would like to hit 5-star elite. So what do I need to do each and every month to make sure I hit 5-star elite? And what's my deadline? Well, by the end of the year. Income. I'd love to replace my full-time salary. I'd love to make 6 figures a year by the end of the year. Well, how am I going to get there? Every single week, I need to increase my earnings. So it's 300 a week, 400 a week, 500 a week, until I reached the point of making $100,000 or six figures, however you want to look at that. And then I would love to have at least 10 working coaches. I have 2 or 3 right now. And so how am I going to get there? How many coaches do I need to recruit a month to get 2 or 3 working coaches? You know, for me, I may bring in 5 coaches a month, but like I said, 1 or 2 may be working and the rest are all discount coaches. So planning that out. And then training. How many trainings do we need to run? Do we have coaches who are coming in brand new who need new coach training? Do they need emerald training? Do they need diamond training? And making sure I'm constantly providing the training they need and planning that out quarterly or annually as well. And then always checking your progress. I think that's the biggest thing is, you know, a lot of people get frustrated and then they just quit or they just, you know, get down on themselves and don't move forward. And, you know, you really need to just reassess your goals and be realistic. You can't just say, oh, I'm going to be a 15-star diamond coach next month. Well, no, you're going to have to work pretty hard to get there. But you could do it in a year or 2 years or 3 years, but you have to have little tiny goals every single month to push yourself forward to get there. So whether it's income, whether it's rank, however you want to look at building your own team, definitely tracking on a bigger picture rather than just daily. But it all is like a funnel system, right? So you're looking at everything from the very top all the way down to those little tiny daily activities that you're going to do each and every day. And if some of you guys are not fans of pen and paper, there's Google Streak, there's Excel, there's Teamsy, and there's other CRMs. So CRMs are relationship management software. And you can get into, there's one called Contractually or there's Salesforce.com. So if you're more techie, go for it. But for me, I have found that really old school paper pen method works best because I'm holding myself accountable each and every day. I'm going in, I'm checking off, I'm making my tick marks. And I know that I'm going to do that every single day. And that's it. So, do you guys have any questions? Anything I can answer for you? I need a drink of water.
If anybody else doesn't have questions, Lisa, I have a couple of things that I wanted to just recap, if you guys don't mind. So a few things really stuck out to me, Lisa, about what you shared. And one of them was that you are clear on your non-negotiable activities. So it sounds to me like your time spent in your business is extremely focused. It doesn't sound like you're all over the place. It sounds like you're very, very crystal clear on exactly what things you get done in your business every day, and you don't really stray much away from that. And then another thing that really stuck out to me was the big picture mentality, that how easy it can be in our business to get bogged down and lost in social media la la land during the day or in the evening. And especially if you're tired and hungry and not taking care of yourself, it's really, I know I fall into the trap of getting stuck on social media in a place where I'm not actually making progress. And what I'm doing is just wasting time. But I think in my head I'm working on my business when really what I'm doing is wasting time, and precious time that could be spent doing other things with my family or taking care of myself or what have you. And it's this big picture mentality, right? Like you're thinking long, but you're thinking broken down into little steps. And so it's also easy to get hung up on thinking, well, I can't make my goals happen because I don't have the people on my team, or I don't know the people that would do this. But the thing is that I didn't know most of you guys when I started this business, of any of you that are on this call, actually. So just look at that, how one decision to every day add new people and connect with new people, how the ripple effect starts to happen. And now here, 18 months into my business, I'm on a call with all you amazing women that I never knew before I started my Beachbody business. So those were a couple of things that really stuck out to me. Just the non-negotiables that Lisa kind of set aside for herself and said, okay, this is what I can manage to do every day. These are the numbers I can handle, and this is what I'm committed to. But what she does is she does it without fail. So every single day she's doing it consistently, and it's adding up. And it's also keeping that big picture thinking. and not getting frustrated by little things that come up, but remembering that if you fail to meet your goal, you just take a step back, ask yourself, what did I do that I can do differently next month to move forward in my goals? And Lisa, I did have a couple of questions for you. Number one, I wanted to ask you how much time you think you're spending on these activities you just showed us that you're tracking. And number two, what time of day do you usually do these activities?
I would say at this point in my business, I spend at least 2 hours a day. Every morning from 7 to 8 is when I'm doing the majority of it. And like I said, I'll just tick mark off. And then sometimes at lunch, I can get back into it and just kind of finish it up, whether I need to request new people or send new private messages or follow up. And then every night I work an hour as well, usually from 9 to 10 o'clock once the kids are in bed. So definitely 1 solid hour in the morning, 1 solid hour in the evening. And then I might answer a couple of messages in between.
And then what about on the weekends? How much time would you say you set aside to do the extras like scheduling posts on the weekends?
I set 2 hours aside every Saturday to schedule all of my like page posts for the week, and that's 21 posts. So I set 2 hours aside specifically for that. And I film my own little videos during that time as well for the week. And then I still do some of my daily activities, but I'm not as razor focused as I am those 5 days a week, Monday through Friday.
So you're telling me you're spending 10 hours Monday through Friday, 2 hours on Saturday, and do you take the day off on Sunday?
Yes, until about.
Okay, so I just think that's pretty incredible to notice that, Lisa, you have successfully built a business that's going to bring you a six-figure income this year in 14 hours a week. That's pretty incredible. And it just goes to show you what focused activity can do. And so I'm reading Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. And that's why I'm like so excited about this, because this is the second time I've listened to it. And I'm terrible about self-discipline and terrible about organization. So this is super helpful to me. And I have been doing the pen and paper method, Lisa, and I agree with you. I think that it's so much better for following up consistently and not losing people along the way, and being able to go like to the next page and write myself a note. Okay, this person, I need to talk to them in May or June or whatever. And I feel like I'm being much more consistent because I can see on pen and paper exactly how many conversations I have going on.
Yep.
Does anyone else have other questions for Lisa?
I don't think so.
I have a question.
Go for it.
Go ahead.
On your like page, I'm having difficulty getting people who are genuinely interested. It seems like I'm not drawing the right kind of people. I get a lot of interest when I boost the post, but it falls flat whenever I have the conversation with them.
Lori, are you friend requesting these people, or are you just messaging them straight from your like page?
Well, whenever I boost the post, it's usually about a challenge group, and they ask me for more information. So then that's when I friend request them, and we talk about getting involved in the challenge group, and it always comes to what it's going to cost them, and then they go away.
Zoe, do you have any follow-up?
Sure. So one thing you can do, Lori, when you're boosting your posts for your like page, I'm actually taking a course on like pages that I'm paying some pretty good money for the next couple of months, and I'm going to be bringing you guys back what I'm learning in this like page training. So hopefully that will help all of us. But in the short term, what I would say is make sure that you're targeting an audience that can generally support, a challenge pack purchase. So you are a nurse. I would recommend that when you're targeting, you're only picking 3 things. And it's really tempting to start adding a bunch of extra stuff into your targeting. But like Lori, you might want to target behavioral health RN or psychiatric RN or psych nurse or whatever. But what the key is, Lori, is when you're choosing your targeting, make sure out beside the interest, it doesn't say interest, that it says job title. Reason being, there are lots of people interested in being nurses that are not nurses. And so I found that I was making that mistake, and I was getting a lot of people who really just were not able to afford a challenge pack. Not if maybe they were, they couldn't afford it and then I put them in the free group, then eventually they come around. But I'm just saying it might be a quicker, easier way to reach your market, just to be sure that you're targeting a job title and not just an interest. Hopefully that'll help.
And sometimes, Lori, I have to go back to the actual post because I'll find that I'll friend request, I'll send the message, and then crickets. So I'll have to go to the actual post and say, hey, I sent you a private message. Did you get the message? And then usually they'll know to check another folder, or then it kind of starts things. So sometimes it just goes unseen if they haven't approved your friend request, or if you've sent the message first. Sometimes they don't even see it. So, does anybody have any other questions?
So Lisa, is that fancy little tracking book you have just a cheap calendar?
It's from Target and it cost $9.99.
And how many of those do you have in your life? I'm just curious.
Okay, so I have my work tracker, I have my Beachbody tracker, I have my own fitness tracker, I have a tracker that I write down all of my workouts in because I do teach group fitness as well. And then I have my Beachbody Bible that I listen to webinars and take notes. So I have 5 that I carry with me all the time.
I love it.
It's a little crazy, but it works for me.
You're the girl with the shoulder like hanging down, like 500 pounds in your bag.
Yes, but one is all you need. But if you get one good calendar that has the daily, the weekly, and the monthly, and then you can plan everything out, you're golden.
Awesome. Well, Lisa, thank you so much for taking the time to host the call. And I just want to let everybody know Lisa, myself, and Lydia have teamed up to split up our team calls because we're going to work smarter, not harder. We want you guys to see that this business is attainable for anybody, that any of you can be a leader, and that it's not a life-consuming thing. So I want you guys, I feel like sometimes we give the impression that like we never stop working. And I want you guys to see that we have real lives. And so we're going to make this doable for us and to bring you fresh, better information so that you're hearing from other leaders in our team and not just one person all the time. So hope you guys have a wonderful week. If you think of anything you'd like to ask Lisa, feel free to ask on the team page. Everybody have a fabulous night.
Bye. Thank you.